Thank you for joining us once again for our very first Leadership Elevation with Keski podcast. I am very excited that you have actually joined us. I must say that I am very crazy and passionate about investing in leaders, because one thing that I have actually learned is that when a leader is effective, the organization also becomes effective. So welcome to our podcast. A little bit about myself. My name is Keski Vusumuzi Wokandaba, born and bred in Soweto, Johannesburg, South Africa, a township in Johannesburg with over 4 million residents that actually stay there. I am married and our family lives in Pretoria. I must say that as an avid student of leadership, I do all I can to even practice leadership in my family, in my business, in my work environment, and in everything that I actually do. I'm also an executive for one of the largest financial services organizations in the country, where I lead a team of close to 1,000 financial advisors, regional managers, branch managers, and we are doing amazing things. And this is where I also see the practice of these leadership principles that I'm actually telling you about, and those that we're going to be unleashing over the next couple of podcasts that they will be coming into play. I'm a massive learner, an avid student when it actually comes to leadership, and I make it a point that I surround myself with people that are thoughtful leaders on the subject of leadership. I appreciate leaders like Bishop Busasono, Craig Rochelle, Andy Stanley, Elijah Maswanganyi, Jim Rohn, Andre Olivier, Miles Monroe, David Molapo, Mabungu Peter Chigubo, Yapi Mosted, Pastor Pitso Munchela, John Maxwell, Bishop Ezekiel Matole, and Joyce Meyer, to name but a few. Leadership Elevation aims to ensure that we empower leaders so that we help organizations, be it a church, be it a business, be it a non-governmental organization, be it an institution. It doesn't matter where you operate from. But the whole idea is to help you as a leader, to help your leaders that are in your organization to become better leaders and even faster. You will notice that when I share on the different principles on leadership, that I will be coming from a business perspective. The interesting thing about leadership is that it is applicable in every sphere of life. Yes, even including as your role as a family leader in your own space. I must say that if you are new to us, please remember something, that we will be releasing these podcasts and videos in every first Thursday of the month. And we will be rolling them out, addressing different subjects and topics. Where I did not finish because of time constraints, because I know that you value your time, we will make sure that we follow through on the following podcasts. We'll make sure that these are effectively loaded and sequenced accordingly so that you can be able to follow through in that particular way. Thank you so much to those of you that share the knowledge that we are actually engaging with. The content that we are actually sharing here is of utmost importance to a lot of people. And yes, it will help other people to make sure that they can also learn and grow, because iron sharpens iron. Remember to subscribe and switch on the notification button so that whenever we post anything, you are able to be notified in getting there. Today, I want us to talk about the 6 different types of leaders and the results and the types of people these leaders produce. Yes, a leader does produce and defines the type of people that follow them. That is why you will find people that are of a certain kind following a particular type of a leader, because the following is defined by the leader. You are likely to see yourself also in one of these leadership types, and I hope that the content will help you to get better faster. We want to talk around 6 types of leaders. The first one that we'll engage around is unpredictable leaders. Then we're going to talk about domineering leaders, secretive leaders, passive leaders, healthy leaders, and then we're going to wrap up with empowering leaders. Unpredictable, domineering, secretive, passive, healthy, and empowering. What do these types of leaders produce in their organizations? Let's start with unpredictable leaders. You will never know what they are up to and what they are going to do. They produce hesitant followers. Unfortunately, that's the kind of people that they produce. They join your meeting sometimes. As a leader, you are running your own meeting. They come and they join. They say, no, don't worry, I'm going to be a fly on the wall. And before you know it, they take over. Unpredictable. Now your meeting has become their meeting. They are the type of leaders that change strategy every now and then. And also, they are driven by the wind. They would go attend a certain conference, and before you know it, they come back to the organization. They've got a new strategy that they want to employ. 3 months later, they go attend another conference, and they come back. Now they've got yet another strategy that they want to employ. And it is very important, people, that consistency in leadership becomes a key thing for us to make sure that we follow. Work on your consistency. Say the same thing over and over. That is a very, very important trait of a leader, because that helps you to build trust. Trust is a currency of every leadership, so that when people look at you, they must feel warm, they must feel wanted, they must feel that they want to follow you, instead of feeling obliged to follow you and embrace the things that you are putting on the table and that you are leading them towards. And your actions must always be consistent with your words. Those are the foundational truths that make sure that they build that key element of trust. Consistency, ladies and gentlemen, is very, very, very key. Let us learn to be consistent as leaders, so that in everything that we do, we follow it up with the actions that support the things that we stand for. Something that you must always note: successful people do consistently what normal people do occasionally. I'll say that again. Successful people do consistently what normal people do occasionally. Don't be an unpredictable leader. Unpredictable leaders produce hesitant followers. The next type of leader that we want to talk about is a domineering leader. You know, this type of a leader that has got an attitude of it's my way or the highway kind of mindset. Wow, that kind of leadership, ladies and gentlemen, is not sustainable. It is a type of leadership that never takes us anywhere. You mostly never reason with people when you are a domineering leader. You don't even consult. You don't even engage. You don't even tap into the skills that are within your organization. So, you know the type of people that you have to do as they say, and you've got no input whatsoever. Your voice doesn't matter in a situation like that, because that's just how things are going to be. What does a domineering leader produce? They produce compliant followers. People who will just say, okay, we're going to do it. We do it your way. And at that time, you're not even tapping into the skills that you employed them to do. If ever you employed a sound engineer and they're telling you that the way you are speaking, it's not sound friendly, and here you are like, this is me, I'm going to do it like that. You just record. No, you tapped into that skill of bringing that person on board because you know they produce the best quality sound. So it's important that you consult with them and you engage with them, because when it comes to their subject matter, they are the experts. So that is the time where you need to submit to their authority in sound, so that you can understand and appreciate what they are actually putting on the table. Over time, it's always devastating to the organization when you have a domineering leader. It always is. Domineering leaders create weak teams. The teams are never strong because whenever they want something done, they actually force it to be done. People don't think for themselves. They don't get to unleash their own leadership styles. They don't get to be themselves. Don't come with prescribed methods of forcing things to be the way that they are supposed to be. As a leader, you are supposed to lead. And a leader charts from the front, spills out the vision, encourages people, and they follow you by being themselves, implementing things in a manner that exposes how they are and the things that they have got capabilities of. And that is how you get the best out of people. You don't want people who will simply do what they are told to do. You don't want the yes people. I don't like yes people. I always tell my team to say, challenge me. Don't just say yes because I said so. Confront me when things are not in line with the strategy that we have actually agreed on. As a leader in a situation like that, you are not leading, you are actually a led that is closing them up and suffocating them from expressing themselves and their skills. If you are a dominant leader, yes, you may get compliance, but you will not get commitment. An organization that is successful is not an organization that is full of compliant people. It is an organization that has got people that are committed to the vision, people that are committed in ensuring that they continue to grow the business, they grow the organization, they grow your entity, they grow everything that is the cause that you are up for because of the level of commitment that they have. Here's a challenge. The bigger the organization gets, the more people are likely to fear you. It's an unfortunate thing that that's just how things are. If you lead 3 people, it's something that is manageable. But if you lead hundreds of people, when you walk into a room, people are like, the boss has just walked in. And everyone keeps quiet because of the presence that you actually command. And you can easily be treated like some form of a god or something like that. And it doesn't usually sit well with me. But you know what? That's what comes with leadership. Now, the important thing is that you need to work harder as a leader as the organization grows to make sure that you don't put yourself and portray yourself as a domineering leader. The manner in which you are respected, even if you make suggestions, people sometimes take them as a command. I've seen myself whereby all I did, I just made a comment about something and I walked and things are just happening in line with what I made as a command. And when I'm asking questions to say, ladies and gentlemen, why are you doing this? And people are like, but that's what you said yesterday. And I'm like, oh my word. You know what? It was just a comment. But people interpret it as a command. So it is important that even as a leader, understand that your silence can sound like a roar to some of the people. Even a slightest joke can be taken as a very, very serious thing that people sometimes can be offended about. Now, the important thing is it's important that we create that culture where people understand that their opinions do count. Their versions of a situation matters. And they are free to express it so that you can be in a position of seeing the potential that is within them. As a leader, make sure that you take some of these things that are examples and suggestions that I'm going to put on the table and implement them as much as you can. One of the biggest things that actually works a lot, and I've seen a lot of very successful leaders use a lot, is the fact that as a leader, ask questions. Try and prevent yourself from presenting solutions. Rather ask questions and let your team be the ones that come up with the solutions. Ask questions and listen. I think this is where we understand how God created us with 2 ears and 1 mouth, so that we need to listen more than speaking more. ask 10 times as many questions as you would with one suggestion. So when you feel that you have a particular suggestion, rather zip it, keep it to yourself, and ask questions and ask questions and ask questions. Because it's in an environment like that where, as a leader, people feel that their voice and opinions and interpretations of things do count. And make sure that you stay away from being seen or being experienced as a dominating leader. You don't want to be a dominating leader, ladies and gentlemen, because dominating leaders produce compliant followers and not necessarily committed followers. There is so much that we're going to talk about when it comes to the other traits. But as of now, this is a wrap, and we're going to talk more around this subject of leadership as we unpack around the other forms of leaders. Thank you so much for making the time, and I really appreciate you. And remember to share this message with as many people as you can. And as we wrap up, thank you so much. Have an awesome day.